Keely Hodgkinson beat the woman who took her gold medal by 2 full seconds. 1 month later, that same woman ran straight past her in the final stretch and walked away with the world title. Keely got bronze 1/100th of a second behind her own training partner. Now both of them are lining up against her again on July 4th in Eugene. And the scariest part is not that she lost. The scariest part is that her opponent already knows exactly how to do it again. On March 22, 2026, at the World Athletics Indoor Championships in Torun, Poland, Keely Hodgkinson returned to the exact venue where she had won her first senior title 5 years earlier and ran a championship record of 1:55.30 to win the women's 800 meters world indoor title, Great Britain's first ever women's 800 meters world gold indoors or outdoors. Essentially Sports, the path to that performance was not clean. Her kit was delayed on a flight to Poland. She trained in borrowed spikes. She gave herself a blister in the process. None of it showed in the race itself. Athletics Weekly, she moved to the front immediately, covering the opening 200 meters in 27.24 seconds. She went through the 400 meters mark in 56.96 with the pack already breaking behind her. She ran the final 200 meters in under 30 seconds and won by 1.34 seconds from Switzerland's Audrey Wero, who ran a national record of 1:56.64 to finish second. Borrowed spikes, a blister, a 1.34 second winning margin in a world championship final. That combination tells you something about what Hodgkinson is right now. After the race, she said her word for the entire 2026 season has been domination. "When I'm in the shape of my life, why leave it to chance?" she added. She is not leaving things to chance because she learned in Tokyo in September 2025 exactly what happens when she does. Here is what actually happened in that race, and it is the detail that makes the Prefontaine rematch so hard to predict. Hodgkinson arrived at the Tokyo World Championships dealing with the aftermath of knee and hamstring injuries that had disrupted her buildup. She was not running at her absolute peak. But the month before Tokyo, at the Silesia Diamond League in Poland, she had put up a number that suggested she was close enough. At the Kamilas Skolimowska Memorial in Silesia, Hodgkinson won the 800 meters in 1:54.74, one of the fastest times she had ever run. Lilian Odira finished second in a personal best of 1:56.52, 1 month before the World Championships. If you had seen that race and then been asked to predict the outcome in Tokyo, you would have said Hodgkinson wins comfortably. In the World Championships final, Mary Moraa of Kenya set the pace from the front, hitting the bell at 55.57 seconds. Hodgkinson and her British training partner, Georgia Hunter-Bell, were right behind her at the front of the pack as Moraa began to fade. Then, from the back of the field, Odira launched. She had waited, conserving energy while other women did the work of driving the race. Then she charged through on the outer lane and crossed the line in 1:54.62, a new championship record that erased a mark set in Helsinki in 1983. Hodgkinson's closest training partner and daily track companion in Manchester finished second in 1:54.90. Hodgkinson crossed the line a single hundredth of a second later in 1:54.91 to take bronze, 1/100th of a second behind her own training partner, beaten to gold by a woman she had outrun by 2 seconds a month earlier. Bronze at a World Championships, where she had been the most decorated and experienced entrant in the field. Now, here is where the curiosity comes back into the story. Odira's victory was built entirely on strategy. She knew she could not out-front run Hodgkinson. She knew she could not beat her by leading from the gun. So she saved everything for the moment when the race was most vulnerable, when the early leaders had done the hard work and the field was tightening, and the home straight was everything. This is my first World Championships, and I am really grateful to be leaving it as the world champion. It has been a long time coming. But the journey was actually very short. Just 1 year before winning the world title, Odira had been eliminated at the semifinal stage of the Paris Olympics, clocking 1:58.53 and failing to make the final. She went from Olympic semifinal exit to world champion in 12 months by rebuilding her approach to racing with her coach of 3 years, Jacinta Muraguri. her victory gave Kenya its fourth Women's World 800-meter title, following Janeth Jepkosgei, Eunice Sum, and Mary Mora, and made Kenya the first country in history to sweep every gold medal from 800 meters to the marathon at a single World Championships. That is, the champion, Hodgkinson, has been waiting to meet again since September 2025. The waiting is almost over. At the Prefontaine Classic in Eugene, Oregon on July 4th, the women's 800 meters will be a full rematch of the Tokyo World Championships podium. Odira, Hunter Bell, and Hodgkinson will race together at Hayward Field in a race named in honor of 800 meters legend Maria Mutola. Daley Hunt Hodgkinson, Odira, and Hunter Bell are three of only 11 women in history to have run under 155 in the 800 meters, ranking 6th, 7th, and 9th on the all-time list respectively. 3 of the 11 fastest women ever on the same track, in the same race, with the same result from Tokyo still very fresh in all of their minds. For Hodgkinson, this race is more than a rematch. It is a statement of where she is now versus where she was in September. And since September, she has been somewhere nobody else has been on February 19th, 2026, at the World Indoor Tour meeting in Leuven, France. Hodgkinson set a new women's indoor 800 meters world record of 154.87, going through 400 meters in 56.1 and running the final 200 meters in 29.81 seconds. Previous world indoor record of 155.82 had been set in 2002 and had stood for 24 years. The date it was set was March 3, 2002, the exact day Hodgkinson was born. Broke a world record that was born the same day she was. On the same day of the year that her life started, that record began, and 24 years later, she made it disappear. After setting the record, she said, "Being the world record holder is something I knew I was capable of. I wasn't just here to break the record. I wanted to smash it. I believe there is more to give." She broke it by 0.95 seconds and still said there is more. That sentence connects directly to the outdoor world record conversation that follows her into every major race in 2026, the outdoor world record of 153. 28 was set by Jarmila Kratochvilova of Czechoslovakia in 1983, making it the longest-standing world record in any track and field event. After breaking the indoor world record, Hodgkinson said she has never felt closer to catching that mark. Daley Hunt Kratochvilova's record has now stood for 43 years. It has outlasted 6 Olympic cycles, 3 generations of training science, the introduction of super spikes, and dozens of would-be challengers. Hodgkinson would need to run 1.59 seconds faster outdoors than her current indoor best to break it. She has run under 2 minutes at Hayward Field 6 times, with a best of 155.